I'm gonna enjoy this solo dolo coconut on here. Once I finish what I'm doing, the land provides if you take care of it. So these are cassava right here, and these, you know, they can grow in pretty much anywhere. They can survive anywhere. But it also says for it to yield and give more fruit, more food, is it needs to be in the ground 6 to 8 inches. So you gotta tilt the soil 6 to 8 inches deep, and do it in a way where it doesn't get compact and tight back. The more you add to the soil, more matter you add to it. Like, you know, you could add, like where I'm at right now, it requires that it have some sand add to it. Why sand? Because it helps to aerate it, and then it helps to allow the roots to push forward. And then when the fruit comes, the more air is in the soil, the better the fruit will, and the larger the yield will be. So right now I'm working on creating a bed for that. The squirrels are eating on these as well too. Now for those who are experts at planting potatoes and cassava and cocoa, starchy like, don't make fun of me. Because yeah, I think I got 8 inches down there, but the width of it I'm not 100% sure. And that area over there, the dirt is dense, it's tightly compact, it's hard. Over here is starting to get a little bit easier and slightly starting to show that it's holding moisture. So the primary objective is to like open it up. Maybe I'll open it up a little bit wider, and then start taking like twigs, leaves, and you know, stuff like that. It says you can take that stuff, green vegetation, and add to the whole, because it will help the roots and the plant, the cassava plant, to basically have more nutrients down there, help to keep air in there, and whatever else, bacteria and all these different things that is required for it to bear fruit. You have to create an environment where it can produce and live and survive. And it also recommends that you build up the mound. So you build your bed up above ground just a smidge, so that way you can get more food from the plant. And you got to make sure that you do it in a way that the weight of the soil doesn't get compact, because it takes 6 months or so. Let's say 5 to about 9 months, or 9 months is kind of stretching it. Let's go 7 or 8 months for it to bear food, bring forth food. So you don't want the soil or the dirt to get tightly compact again, because if it becomes tightly compact, you won't be able to get as much product. Visit this little baby right here. I might have to add some water to it as well. And that's how far I've been. That's 30 minutes or less of digging. I got the hang of it. Another 30 minutes have gone by, and I have basically double the amount that I did when I first got started. I'm thinking about maybe just stopping right in front of the tires. That seems to be like maybe another 2 feet by 2 feet. So what I'm trying to do is get it dug. Then I don't have a rake, So I might see if I can use my snow shovel, Roots Work snow shovel, and I used to use it as a dustpan in Austin, Texas to clean up job sites. So I'll convert that into a rake, makeshift rake, rake up all the leaves around here, and then dump the leaves in there. I'm gonna fill this up with leaves, twigs, and other thing that will help prepare the soil for my cassava plants. I think in this area here I might be able to put maybe 6 plants in there. Really don't know. It's a learning curve at this point. I am vastly beyond my skills at this point. And then what I'm going to do over here with the soil, I'm going to rake those back. Then I'm going to take the large chunks and break them down. And then I'm going to take leaves, ash, charcoal, and twigs and other stuff, and I'm going to mix in with that to try to help aerate it. I need to add, so this amount of soil here, I think for that amount I gotta at least add like 8 to 10 times the amount of biodegradable matter, so that the weight of the dirt doesn't get compact along with me watering it. That is the plan in theory. Executing is another story, but I'm pretty disciplined and I'll pretty much adhere to it. The only issue is, can I find enough of this stuff to basically add to the amount that I need to compare and balance off the soil. So you need to add a large amount of biodegradable matter to help keep the soil from, becoming tightly compacted. So I got it to the length that I needed or wanted. So all of them are pushing out leaves, but they're starting to push their roots. So that's what I'm trying to get, roots to come out before I stick them in the ground. And they were dry, so now they're all hydrated. But this one, most of them don't even have any roots. It's just one of them that I'm lucky and I knock off a little leaf there. But yeah, I'm trying to do my calculation to see how many beds I need to make. So I think this bed right here might take 6 of them. I went and I borrowed a rake. That was faster. So now I got the trench filled in. I'm gonna debate if I want to break this up right now. And another fun and interesting fact is, if you're not going to use the soil immediately, you need to cover it up. The UV rays from the sun do strip the nutrients from the soil, whatever is in there, and this soil is not the best of best right now. It needs a lot of assistance, hence I'm doing all that stuff right there. I've also learned that the coconut palm, the leaves, if you strip them off, like what I did there, you can use that as firewood, or you can cut them up into 6 inches or less pieces, and you can add them to your compost pile, and they decompose at a rapid pace as well. 6 to about a year, 6 months to about a year. If you add water and moisture to it daily, it breaks down even faster. But it's also great to add to your garden bed. me give you a taste of how I do it. We work for likes, we work for like, shares, and comments. Subscribe to the channel. Membership also available that you can sign up for as well. We do have other packages that you can check out in the Empower by Rootswork About section that are available to the general public as well. If you want to see me in different districts, you can check out the About sections. We have things that you can partake and invite me over to the different places. I definitely got invited over to Duck Run 3. This was a couple of years ago when I got invited to Duck Run 1. After that, I got invited to Duck Run 2, Duck Run 3. I think some other communities, 2 other communities that I can't remember. I recently got re-invited again to Duck Run 3. So hopefully I'll be able to get in a position and make my way over there in the next couple of days or a few weeks. But like I said, you can help out by going to the About section of Empower by Rootswork and check out all the different things that you can partake in to help us get to those different areas as well. And you can also help us by planting trees as well. Check that out. We do have an option in there as well. The coconut palms, the little leaves that you see me shaving off, that's the closest thing to hay at this current juncture or phase. So that's why I'm shaving them off. And like I said, you can use the same stalk or the stem from the palm as firewood, or you just cut it down into 6-inch sections or smaller, depending on how fast you want it to break down. And you can add it to the soil as well. And there are just a couple pieces. For example, my machete is not sharpened either, it's dull. Just a demonstration to show you how fast and easy and quick it is, especially if you have a sharp machete and you have loppers. I didn't want to bring out my loppers, but like I said, in all the pit took me about an hour, maybe 15 to dig. Then took me another 30 minutes to rake leaves and shred some of the planting leaves. Still not finished yet. This is my first layer of soil that I'm broken and putting on top to do a raised mound, and I'm about to add another layer of leaves and some more of the coconut palm leaves on there to help act as a hay-like and allow air to get between the soil and the leaves and different things to help moisture stay in there, trap moisture, and help create an environment for living organism to take off. All right, I just harvest some more, put leaves and the coconut palm on the soil, So now I'm gonna put another layer of soil and then some more leaves and stuff, some heavy debris that can help keep the sun off the soil until I decide when I'm gonna put down those cassava plants. In all, this took 2+ hours, maybe 2 hours 15 minutes to do this bed, and I'm still not finished yet. I gotta come back and put another layer of leaves on top. Like I said, the sun, part of the sun strips away nutrients from the soil, and I gotta cover that up to prevent that from happening, because it's not a nutrient enriched soil that I'm using. So I gotta do whatever I can to help keep it safe and preserve what's there, and then add to it as best as I can. If you're doing a raised mound like this, it's good to add cardboard at the bottom of your raised mound, because the cardboard helps to suppress the weeds that are already in the soil that can lay dormant for 5 years, and it also helps with retaining a bit of moisture. And then it also, it's a biodegradable product, and it will attract earthworms and all the different insects and critters that is required for your garden bed to be super duper healthy. Nutrient enriched critters it will help attract. Yes, I do admit that I should not have put back all that soil, but before I put my cassavas in this bed, I'm gonna try and tilt the soil one more time. And the reason why, because I didn't have enough leaves and coconut palms to make a raised bed this high. So when I tilt the soil, I'm just gonna tilt from the top. I'm not even gonna go inside the trench, because I'm trying to bring back the health to the soil, enrich the soil. So that's the objective, that's the goal here, is to get the soil to have more nutrients so that it can sustain plants and vegetables for the foreseeable future. This is preparation for the future. She's all finished. Now I just got to figure out where I'm at and get some water poured on there.